Hi, I'm Gene. I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. So let's get started. So I put this propane heater in a while ago, about less than a year ago, and I love it. It does a great job and really helps to warm the shop. But the one thing I noticed, they do sell a fan that you can put inside of here, and it's just a small single fan. And I don't think that's enough. I'd like to see a little more power blowing out into there. So I ordered this off of Amazon, and I think I'm going to install it up here because I feel the heat carries upward anyway. So if it had movement coming out, that'd be perfect. But just doing this isn't going to be enough. I think I'm going to want to steampunk this. So I'm going to take the shroud off of this for starters. That pops straight up off of there, like so. Very cool. I'm going to want to keep that black. And this has the same type of open that up like that. I'm going to take the page off. Okay, got that. Now this way. Cool. I'm going to pull the brand logo off of this too. Now I'm going to use a Scotch pad to rough up the paint a little bit before painting. Now I'm going to be using Rust-Oleum High Heat Ultra. This should be able to handle the heat from that propane heater. Okay, I'm going to put a second coat on this. Now, because I want to steampunk this, I'm going to need to take this old trim off. But I'm going to hold on to it because I think I'm going to still use it later. I'm also going to use some painter's tape, 2-inch, just to broaden that black area. And using just some more of a semi-gloss, I'm going to repaint that black area. And now installing that fan, it did come with some 1-inch standoff, so 4 screws and good to go. A little bit of masking on the knobs, and once again I'm going to rough up the sides of this and use a high heat black spray paint just to paint the edge of this cabinet. Now that the shroud is dried, I'm going to use a blanket and set it back down and put the pieces back together. And this is Norm, the shop cat, and he's come in to help me and give me proper direction on putting this all back together. I'll set the cage on. And then all you have to do is bend those 2 bars back down. Thanks, Norm. I really, really like how this all turned out. I think I'm very happy with that. So, I'm really liking this color combination with the black. And I've trimmed that edge around. So now I'm going to take some more of this kind of recycled wood, and I'm going to trim these exactly in half, and I'm going to build a base that's going to go around this. And now using my new sled that I just built, I got all kinds of wood for this. everything's good to go. I'm also going to cut a 1x10 to make the top of that. Okay, I'm going to take it inside, sand it down, and put some stain on it. I love some of this old reused wood. I love using that. You don't have to use that, but I just love getting a chance to repurpose wood. The whole shop's kind of based on that, and I love that. Plus, I by wiping it off, it won't be sticky tomorrow when I want to put a clear on top of this, and it'll just give a really nice look to this. I'll tell you, using one of these 20-volt crown staplers has just really saved a lot of time, and I love having one of these. I'm going to trim a hole out in the top that's going to allow for the vent on the bottom of the heater. I'm going to use some Minwax semi-gloss clear. You ever start on a project like this and then you realize that your project is growing heads? I'm kind of that way with this right now. I'm having fun with it, so that's what counts, but I think I now want to take this black area and add a little bit of an off or a dark green, almost that you can't see it, but it's there just to give it a softened out look, and I'm going to try to sponge that on, so let's see how that goes. I'm going to take this, get a little bit of this on there. Set this down. Oh yeah, this is going to work perfectly. That's exactly what I want. Yeah, I like that a lot. Now I'm using some forest green matte latex paint. So now while I'm waiting on some paint and things to dry, I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut some gears out to kind of help with the look in the back on my Monport Rhino 6500 CO2 laser cutter. And that's a mouthful. This CO2 laser does a fantastic job and is very quick and powerful. Oh yeah, this is going to be good. Yep. Now I'm going to use some kind of a bronze tone spray and just dust all of these gears and let them set up. Now I'm going to use some of this metallics right here, and I'll try it first on this. And basically, what I want to do is just kind of rub it around that outer edge. And then I'm working this in a little more. This is going to give it a little more of a metal look. Yeah. Okay, I'm liking that. Compare that now to this. See what it's doing? It's giving it some metal. So we go again. Alright, I think I'm about as far as I'm going to get with that. I'm pretty happy with it too. Take some of these styrene. I am going to put them every 4 inches. I picked up some PVC strips. And I'm going to take these PVC strips outside and shoot them with a matte black. Bringing them in, let them set up. So I'm going to just try to arrange some of this a little bit. Kind of like that. Hello, puppy. Are you here to help me? That's a good. Yeah, you're a good girl. That's Harper, the shop dog. Alright, so let's play with that. I'm going to put these all on using just hot glue. And it'll work just fine. And just kind of arranging them a little bit random, and so that it actually kind of has a pattern as though the gears are moving or turning. Now I picked up some 1.5 and 3/4 inch PVC piping. I'm going to take some lacquer thinner and a rag and just kind of wipe these down to get any possible grease or oil, but also I think it'll help give the paint something to stick to. So I'm setting all these down but backwards to how they're actually going to be installed, so I can get just kind of a dusted coat on these. Brought these back inside, and I'm going to touch up some of the paint, but actually let some of this plastic and paint warm back up a little bit, and then give these a real light dusting just to finish that off. This PVC is very pliable, and adding a little heat was able to just round it on these corners. I also sprayed that copper on these vents. This is going to give it a little breathing room. I'm going to run the power cord from the fans down through one of the pipes. I also used a dowel to set down to help secure these into place. I found some really neat copper pipe holders. They're $1 or something each, and they look really great, and they help stand the piping off a little bit. There's no real rhyme or reason to the layout of the piping, just having some fun with it. I also picked up some hand taps. I'm not sure what you'd call them, you know, but handles. And I'm going to install a couple of these on each pipe at different levels. This also helps to give it that cool steampunk look. I also found a really cool vintage looking temperature gauge on Amazon, and I picked that up. And I'll put a link to all of the parts for this down in the description below. And now I'm going to go ahead and reuse some of that trim that I pulled off earlier. So when I fired this up, everything worked great, including the fans up here, but there is some plastic in this, and I felt quite a bit of heat moving up here. Now the heat's going to flow out of here and up, but I decided I would build a simple baffle to set in between that may help to break the direct heat and push it more to the front and help preserve the fans. So let me try that. It'll be tougher to get that in. So just a screwdriver will work. And still give me room to light the furnace. Found I could push them in easier. Like that. One more pipe to install. And a couple more corner brackets down on the bottom piece. And you always have to have the logo. Okay, well, I'm going to test this out. Okay. I think this is going to work out great. This little buffer is working really well. This is blowing the hot air out, but it's pushing the air up this direction and not directly above, so the fan itself is still staying cool. That's gonna work, I think, a lot better for me. Also, there is a vent on the bottom of this, so I cut the top of this out and then installed 3 fresh air returns that can help pull the updraft into it. Okay, well, sometimes I just can't leave well enough alone. Not only does it make it great for a shop heater now, but it's just kind of nice to relax too. Hey, if you like this video, check out some of these others, and if you have any comments or questions, please put them down in the comment section down below. And in the meantime, well, I'll see you soon.